Hey guys, Mr. Movie, and today we're reviewing Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, and this movie stars Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Penguin, and a bunch of others that just a fantastic cast in general. But it's about the slaying of the famous Union leader Jimmy Hoffa, and it tells the story of Frank Sheeran on how he gets to that point. So, yeah, stuff I liked about this movie. The acting, obviously, if you even mention this movie now, I think you're like, oh yeah, that movie is Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Penguin, and Omar. Like, Jesus. It just has such a big cast, honestly. I think the standout from all of them who did the best job, in my mind, is Joe Pesci. He did fantastic as playing this character named Russell. Yeah, he was the standout of this movie in my mind. But Robert De Niro also gave one of his best performances that he have given in decades. And, because he's been in a bunch of, like, comedy movies, like Meet the Parents, or Meet the Fockers, or Little Fockers, or Bad Grandpa. He's been in a lot of those type of movies. But then this one was more of a serious movie, and he still nailed it. Shows he can still handle serious movies. I think Al Pacino, he did do a good job. It's not his best performance, but he did do a good job. And Penguin was barely in the movie at all. Yeah. But, yeah. And then the score, I really enjoyed the classical score. I thought the score was pretty cool. And also, they really utilized the not bass, dork, the bass, for some intense and riveting music that really added to the scene to make it more riveting. And then the cinematography, it reminded me of Citizen Kane, sort of. You know that one scene where, what is it? They're at, like, an election or something, and, the camera zooms in on them really fast. That reminds me of that, because all the time when they were in courtrooms, the camera would start up at the top and it's go, just like that. And it just really reminded me of Citizen Kane. So yeah, I really enjoyed this cinematography. And then the story, it was a really well thought out story. The only problem I have to say, they could have shaved off 20 minutes at the start. That's it, maybe like, still 3 hours and 10 minutes. It's like, you think The Godfather's long? Well, guess what? This movie's 40 minutes longer than that. It's like, Jesus. Yeah, that's the only thing I think they had to do, take away 20 minutes from the start, because the start was a little shaky, I thought. They had a lot of stories going on, but I thought the story was really good. It was a really fascinating story. It kept me engrossed the whole time. My mind didn't drift away from the movie at all. And, yeah. And then I also really liked the CGI. I thought what's it called? The aging effects were not going to be too solid. But I actually found them pretty, enjoyable, and once you got through the first 30 minutes maybe, you're like, oh, is that how he looks now? That's kind of how I was thinking, like, it looked flawless, honestly. After, there was only a couple scenes where it didn't really line up, like on the phone call. There was the first trailer scene where he's on the phone call that did not really line up, I thought. So, but yeah. Like I said, the only thing I didn't like was they could have shaved off 20 minutes at the start. But otherwise, The Irishman's a great movie. I gave it 95%. Definitely recommend checking it out. One of the best movies of the year, honestly. And, yeah, see you next time, movie fans.